Oh, so what a wonderful week I have just had. My sister Cara came to visit for a week with her friend Rosie because they had their friend Tal and Amy's wedding, which is in Israel, and it was really really nice. I know Tal and Amy. I've known Tal a very long time. And they actually also invited me to the wedding. So basically my first Israeli wedding, which was really cool. So basically Cara and Rosie arrived and they stayed for the first few nights in this like nice little like hotel, which was right by the port. So it was actually only like a 10-minute walk from me, which was just, they hadn't realized, it's just really good coincidence. And it was just so lovely to have them here. Rosie is like my sister's best friend from uni. And I actually met her before Cara because, well, Cara was unpacking her room. I went and said hello to her neighbour who turned out to be Rosie, and I was like, you two should be friends, and they listened. So it was kind of like having another sister here basically as well. So really really lovely. We went to the beach, we went for dinner, and we met up with Tal and Amy and all of their friends for drinks, and then also there were lots of other London people who were here for the wedding, sort of all Tal's friends who I know as well. So we had a really fun time just seeing people, and obviously I was really lucky because it managed to fall inside all Pan summer holidays, so I was actually free the whole week. So that was really good. And then they went off to a Bedouin tent overnight in the desert, sort of like the close friends and the bride and groom. And then basically when they came back, they all had hundreds of bites all over their legs, and it was like there must have been some sort of bed bugs or something, and like all the texts were coming in from all the friends like, I've got 18 on one leg, and Cara and Rosie both been bitten really badly, and I was like, oh my god, I'm really glad I didn't go. And then we were worried about the bride, what if she had all these ugly bites all over her, but luckily she didn't get bitten, so maybe it's her Israeli blood, I don't know, although she's not Israeli but she's lived here, so I don't know, maybe it was just all the tourists that got bitten. Anyway, so that was all exciting. And then when they came back, Cara and Rosie basically moved in with me, stayed with me, which was fun and games because obviously my bedroom is not that big. So I went and bought an airbed and like a pump. And they basically left their suitcases in the lounge, and then at night we sort of had like Cara in the bed with me and Rosie on the airbed, and they like switched around because the airbed was not very comfortable. Really sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so suddenly I had like people in my room for like 4 nights, which is quite a lot actually when you've got 3 girls all spreading out and making a mess. But it was good that I had my own bathroom because it meant we didn't really disturb the others. We had like more sort of privacy for ourselves. And then basically, you know, I really learned something about having visitors come. They eat out all the time. They're on holiday, and I really was just like, you know, we're in such frugal mode here, you know, being an all pan, not having a full-time job, and just basically, you know, not being frivolous. And I couldn't really get over it. Like the first day or so when they were here, it was like we ate out for lunch, and then we ate out again for dinner. And obviously that's completely normal if you're on holiday, but it's really not if you live here. And also we were at dinner and they were like, should we get a starter? I was like, a starter? What? And then they're like, and should we get a bottle of wine? I was like, oh my God, like, and I can't believe how in tune with being like a student again I was. So it was quite good when they like moved into the apartment. Suddenly I was like, should we just have lunch here? Like I can just go buy some bits and, you know, we'll split the cost. And actually they did really like that. And we did have some nice sort of salady, deli type lunches. We went to the beach, we went to the park, and then we went to Jaffa. We did a walking tour of Jaffa. There's a free walking tour of Jaffa, which you can do. I mean, it's not free, like you basically have a tour guide and she says you need to tip at the end, you know, based on how good you think the tour was, but the suggestion is sort of $10 equivalent. And she was good, but she was a bit like patronizing and a bit like, so who knows the answer to this question? And it's like, clearly nobody does. She was trying to make it very interactive, and I didn't really think our group wanted to be very interactive. But it was cool, and we walked around Jaffa, which was beautiful, and learned a lot about the history and all the important things that happened there, including Simon basically going to visit there and God speaking to him and saying, Christians don't need to keep kosher anymore, and they can eat pork and whatever food they want. So that's like a big important moment for Jaffa and for Christianity. And we were like, oh, right. Good to know. So yeah, and then we had the wedding. which was amazing. And I mean, I'd never been to an Israeli wedding. It's very, very different. First of all, it starts really late. So we met a coach at a coach park at about 6 o'clock, which was a whole balagan trying to get like 3 coach loads of people and make sure we don't leave anyone behind. The venue was probably like an hour or so away. And then we get there and we're like walking down to go into this beautiful like place all outside with like fairy lights and food stations and a bar and tables and chairs like for like a reception. And then there's like Tal and Amy greeting us as we arrive. And I was just like, what? The bride and groom just hanging out with everybody. It's just so different to what I'm used to. And basically they have the whole drinks and like nibbles reception before the actual ceremony. So the bride and groom were just wandering around, and actually it was so nice. It was just so relaxed, and they could say hello to everyone, and I guess kind of takes the tension and the pressure off them for like the big moment of the ceremony and the big reveal. And then basically what happens is everyone's had a few drinks by the time the ceremony starts. So that was at 9 o'clock, and we like went down this like gravel path through the forest with all fairy lights and hanging, dangling things at, you know, bells and things. And then we came to this beautiful like amphitheatre setting with a chuppah, and it's all lit up because it's pitch black. And then, you know, the ceremony starts, and as they walk in, everyone's like cheering and like clapping and whooping, and it was just so different to everything I'm used to. You know, usually it's like everyone's very serious and very emotional. And this was just like, everyone was in such a good mood, and it was so lovely. Really special. Still, people got a bit emotional, of course, still, but just, it was a very jolly atmosphere. And then afterwards we had this dinner, which was an amazing buffet. Oh my God, so much meat and food. I mean, these weddings are huge. It's like 250 people, which is apparently a really small wedding in Israel. So many people, and the space, because it's all outside, you can really spread out more, like you're not all on top of each other like you are in like a hotel hall or something. And then the dancing was just like on this other platform bit just behind the seating area, and oh my God, it was like a proper party. All of their friends just really, really up for it. And honestly, like the bus home was at 3:30 in the morning, so that gives you an idea. And we were like still going party. So it was a really, really wonderful wedding. Huge mazel tov to Tal and Amy, and thank you so much for inviting me. I felt really lucky to be there, and obviously being with Cara and Rosie and all their friends, it was really nice to see them and meet some new people too. So yeah, really just all in all, a really tiring and good week. And I really did learn my lesson about having 3 people staying in my bedroom for 4 nights is quite a lot. And also understanding that when you have visitors, they expect to eat out all the time. So I need to just be prepared for my thinking next time I plan a trip like this. But I wouldn't have changed it for anything, because we had the best time, and it was like having a sleepover every night. And obviously eating out is lovely. I just needed to be really frugal the following week. But yeah, really just a really great experience. And I have been invited to another Israeli wedding. My friend Danny's younger sister Tasha, who's here, invited me to her wedding, which is coming up soon, and I'm really excited about that. And now I kind of know a little bit more about what to expect, which is, yeah, just really great. Had a great time.